All right, folks, today we're going to review the book Thrive from Arianna Huffington. The tagline is the third metric to redefining success and creating a life of well-being, wisdom, and wonder. As you know, in my podcast, Beat the Often Path, I showcase unusual success stories because I am firmly convinced that the traditional methods of success, not only do they not work anymore, but that they're not going to be a great guide for you trying to make something of yourself in your own life. So obviously the premise of this book stood out to me right away. This is a meticulous, thoughtful, lawyerly, well-organized, well-structured case, as if presenting to a courtroom and a jury full of type A people all of the reasons why, systematically and methodically and without a shadow of a doubt, they should begin meditating and doing thoroughly not type A things. It's kind of sad that we need a whole book to convince people to look inward, but in the reality that we're in, it is necessary, and she does a fabulous job getting us to think about her third metric. So let's dive in a little bit on the details here. So the book's premise, if you could define it as such, would be something like this. We don't have to buy into the collective delusion that burnout is the necessary price we must pay for success. That's a quote that she has pretty early on in the book. And to live the lives we truly want and deserve, not just the lives we settle for, she says, we need a third metric, a third measure of success that goes beyond the two metrics of money and power and consists of four pillars, as she says: well-being, wisdom, wonder, and giving. And the rest of the book outlines those things in detail. And her premise is also with the quote here, can the goal of life really be just about money and recognition, she asks. And she has a slogan when she does a talk that she says, onwards, upwards, inward. And that's really what the book is all about, looking inward, saying, okay, we've had money, we've had success, we have fame, we've been thinking, we've been working, we've been hustling, we've been watching hustle porn on YouTube and on Instagram forever, telling us we need to work harder, 7 days a week, grind more, put in extra hours, yada, yada, yada. We've been hearing that message over and over and over again for a very, very long time. And she is saying, hey, maybe that's not the only thing in life. And she actually had a moment in her own life where she fell down, and I believe she hit her head on a corner of a desk, and she said, wait a minute, this overworking thing has got to stop. Now, she sprinkles in a lot of things from a lot of quotes from people like Marcus Aurelius. She has a couple great quotes from Rumi, who is oft cited in the newer age business books. Here's a couple quotes from Rumi that are in the book. He says, you wander from room to room hunting for the diamond necklace that is already around your neck. Love that quote. Really stood out to me. And another Rumi quote in the book, there's a basket of fresh bread on your head, and yet you go to door asking for crusts. Knock on your inner door, no other. I circled that one. I've been thinking about that a lot. What does my inner compass say instead of what does everybody else say? Because believe me, everybody's got an opinion. Your parents, your family, your friends, everybody's got an opinion about what you should do. I love that idea. Knock on your inner door, no other. You decide, you figure out what you're going to do. Brilliant stuff. So she covers how these ideas have crept into the mainstream of the workplace. I mean, you have to remember, not too long ago, ideas like nap time or meditation rooms or volunteer time in companies were pretty much unthinkable. And now we see a lot of modern workplaces bringing these things in. So, there are companies that are doing volunteer matching, and Huffington Post, her company, does, I think it's $250 of charity matching per year, plus 3 days where their employees can go and volunteer. All beautiful, wonderful stuff to do. And we're seeing more and more of that. Companies are starting to understand how mental well-being is critical to their bottom line, so they're allowing more space for that. Also, people like Vishen Lakhiani, Mind Valley, all of that stuff. So good stuff that unfortunately a lot of people don't realize by default. So one of the quotes that stood out for me from this book is wisdom is about recognizing what we're really seeking, connection and love. I think that sums it all up in a nutshell. We think we're looking for fame or this or that or money, but what we're really seeking is connection and love. And at its worst, the internet and social media and all of these things, at its worst, they bring us bullying and trolls and horrible things, which we all hate. But at its best, it brings us connection and love, and we can feel that connection with somebody from very, very far away in a foreign country, somebody that we would never, ever see or meet in person otherwise. So it's that double-edged sword. But I totally agree that connection and love is the ultimate thing. And I totally agree that her third metric is very much what's necessary. She talks a lot about her mom in the book. She quotes her mom. One of her favorite mom sayings was, "Don't miss the moment," which I thought was super cool. We often are so busy striving that we're not living in the here and now. And basically, it kind of reminds me, I don't know if you've read The Alchemist from Paulo Coelho, but there was a beautiful part of that where somebody wise tells somebody else to go look around the building, but while you're doing it, don't spill the 2 drops of oil in this little spoon. So the person goes around, and a couple hours later, the guru or the wise person says, "Hey, good job not spilling the oil. Did you notice any of the paintings on the walls?" And of course, the person was so focused on not spilling the oil in the spoon that they didn't notice anything around them. So he says, "Go back through again, and this time notice all the stuff on the walls." Person goes through, notices all the stuff on the walls, and of course, the oil has been spilled. They weren't able to do both. And the idea here is the wisdom is to do both, to both wander around, experience the wonder, and also not spill the drops of oil, aka experience life, meditate, breathe, take breaks, and all of that while still striving. So again, for type A people, to be a little less type A, a little less Excel spreadsheety, and a little more taking care of themselves. And there's a quote at the beginning, and I believe it's in the preface, but I wanted to end this little review with, where she quotes Eric Barker, who said, "Those who can sit in a chair undistracted for hours, mastering subjects and creating things will rule the world, all while the rest of us fanatically and futilely try to keep up with the text, tweets, and other incessant interruptions," unquote, which I think is just super brilliant. So here's me sitting in a chair creating. I'm just kidding. I don't even care about that. But anyways, great stuff. Highly recommend it. Very well outlined. It's unfortunate that we need a book like this, but yes, we do need it, and she's done a great job. So buy it. I have covered every single page with notes. It's that good. So check it out. That's been a book review. See you later.